What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So, this is one of those situations where I would say the Clippers are in a bad predicament because you could look at the bright side by saying that they have a game. The next game is in LA where they have the home crowd behind them and they can get going and they can make some, type of move where they have the crowd behind them, get going, get the role players to play well, extend it to a game 7. But you still got to come back to Denver where it's very, very hard to play and where it's going to be very hard to knock them off in a game 7. But first you got to get past game 6 because Denver has won in LA also. So, it's not out of the realm possibility for Denver to win in LA. But at the same time, it does give the Clippers a little bit of advantage for being at home, and hopefully everybody contributes at a high level and they get balanced scoring where they can beat the shit out of the Nuggets as they did in game 3. So, but with that being said, you could look at it in so many different ways of there's still opportunity, which there is, but you can also look at it like there's 2 glaring issues that the Clippers have that they might not be able to overcome versus the Nuggets. And the one issue is James Harden. In 2 games, he scored 22 points. In 2 games. That's piss poor, minimal efforts. That's not going to get you winning. That's not going to get you wins. That's going to get you beat in the playoffs. Especially from a superstar caliber type player that people look at him as. And as I said before, he calls himself the system. Well, the system is not operating. The enterprise is not running the way it should. Because if you think you're going to beat a team like Denver with him scoring basically 20 points in 2 games, you're sorely mistaken. Hell, Russell Westbrook last night had 20 points in the first half. Like, you can't let Russell Westbrook outscore you and you dominate the basketball the whole game. You're the point guard. You have the ball in your hands more than anybody on the court, even Kawhi Leonard. And you're letting Russell Westbrook outplay you, and he's just a fire starter. He's just somebody who ignites their, gives them energy. Then Bogdanovich scores 18 points. Chris Dunn scores about 15, and you score 11 points. Now, Kawhi damn near was 1 rebound or 1 assist away from having a triple-double. Being productive, only 1 turnover from Kawhi. So protecting the ball and doing things like that, he did well and he played very good. He didn't play great to the standard that we expect him to play, but he didn't play bad at all. 1 turnover, protected the ball, damn near triple-double, one assist away from a triple-double. That's a good game. That's a really good game. And the balanced scoring that the Clippers had, if their defense would have been better, you could say they would have won the game or possibly been, more en route to win the game. Yes. But at the same time, you got to get more scoring from your second star player, especially if he's the system and he's what everybody thinks that kept the Clippers alive throughout the regular season, along with him and Norman Powell, who I think needs to show up as well. We can't exclude Norman Powell. If he was supposed to be an all-star, if people were saying or vouching for him that he should have been an all-star, well, you got to play like one. You got to come out there and play like you're an all-star. They're not going to give you anything. You have to go out there and play like it against the best of the best competition. And ever since Norman Powell had that injury, you can make a case he hasn't played the best, but honestly, it doesn't matter. You have to play. This is the playoffs. You have to play. Norman Powell's won a championship, so he knows what it's like to play at an elite level. He won it with Kawhi Leonard, so he definitely knows, so no excuses. But James Harden, I really don't give him a pass because you're a star player. Some people still revere him as a superstar player. So it's like you have no excuses. None at all. And it's just the worst time in the world, of course, for James Harden to be laying an egg. But at the same time, it's what we know of James Harden. He always lays eggs in the playoffs. He did the same thing with Philadelphia the year before last. He did the same thing with the Clippers last year. Him and Paul George had this outstanding game at home against Dallas. And then the next game, they both lay an egg. They really do. And it's like, damn, 22 points in 2 games? Like, that's horrible. That's a average point guard. That's not a superstar point guard or a star player point guard. Really, it is. I mean, and the second issue that the Clippers have is Ty Lue. I mean, really? Ty Lue is getting out-coached by a rookie head coach on the Denver Nuggets, and nobody's talking about that. Let that sink in. This dude is a rookie head coach, and Ty Lue is getting out-coached by him. And Ty Lue has a team that has the better defense. Ty Lue has championship material on his team, just like Denver Nuggets do. And the Clippers had a game or two where Russ didn't even play, where Aaron Gordon looked injured, and you still didn't take advantage of the opportunities. Having your guys not to know, you got to know to box out. In the last game where the Denver Nuggets won, where Aaron Gordon, did the dunk that won the game, the controversial call or whatever, the dunk that he had at the end of the game where it was 101-99, you got to know to box out. Now, I know that might be on the players, but as the coach, you got to yell on the court and be like, hey, make sure you box out. Hey, don't foul. Make sure, sometimes, players know these things, but it's your job as a coach to make sure you instill in them what needs to be done at certain times. You know what I'm saying? Like little things like that. I mean, they didn't even box out on that. Aaron Gordon gets a dunk and ends the game, and then they go back home and win last night. So now they're up 3-2 in the series, where the Clippers could have been up 3-2 in the 3-1 in the series. So, I mean, and then on top of that, the adjustments that Ty Lue is making, it doesn't even equate to what that rookie coach is making for the Denver Nuggets, because he has them in position at least to not only win these games, but to dominate these games, really. The only problem they had was Jamal Murray wasn't cooking at the time. That's the only problem they've had. If Jamal Murray cooked every game, the series probably might be over 4-1. If he cooked every game, because the setup, the scheme that they have is good enough for everybody. They just weren't making shots. But it looks like Ty Lue is not putting his guys in position to be at their best. James Harden shouldn't have 22 points in 2 games combined. Bogey shouldn't be in a position to where he didn't score the first 2 playoff games. Didn't even score. Norman Powell just looks out of place a lot of times in the game, because as good as a scorer as Norman Powell is, there's no way he should have multiple struggling games that he's had. Ty Lue has to come to the decision, if he's not playing good this way, put him back to what he's used to, playing off the bench. He's always been a good 6-man. Give your team really that rotational balance they need, because he can provide off the bench and give the team the ultimate balance they need. He really can. He's always been good at that. That's what he's been known to do. You see what I'm talking about? Make adjustments how you see fit that can penetrate to what the other team is doing. If Norman Powell comes off the bench, you know who he'll be for the Clippers? He'll basically be what Russell Westbrook is to the Denver Nuggets. He'll be that fire starter, somebody who comes in, bring him energy, give him points, knock down shots, and he'll have more freedom. That's where Norman Powell plays better, with more freedom. That's why he's always been a good 6-man, because when Kawhi and James Harden sits down, or maybe one of them's in the game without the other one, he has more freedom, the more green light to go out there and do what he needs to do to score, attack, get into the teeth of the defense, make passes at times when he's into the defense, when he gets trapped in double team, and let other shooters shoot and score himself. That's what he does best. Put him in position to be at his best to help the team. Don't be stubborn and just leave him out there and see him struggling and just hope that he has a magical good game that can help Kawhi and, so-called James Harden, the system, so-called, help them have a balanced game with a big 3 on the floor, and hopefully it just works out that way. That's not how you coach. You coach towards players' strengths of how you see it can help the team win. Ty Lue is literally getting out coached by some guy. I don't even know who the fuck he is, and neither do you. I don't know his resume. I don't know who he is. I just know he looks like a character out of a scary movie when they put the camera on him, and somehow he is giving the Clippers nightmares. That's all I know. And the Joker is laughing. And Kawhi Leonard is getting more angry by the minute. Because if they lose this series badly, you have to really think, is Kawhi going to come back to this team? Is he going to want to come back? Even though he played good this year when he did come back and, was healthy through the playoffs, if he feel like his health is good, he might take his talents elsewhere. And that's not what any Clipper fan want, especially with all the other talent leaving. And then you'll be stuck with a James Harden whose system has been broken for years. Call it what it is. But they better make a hell of adjustment the next game and find a way to win Game 6. And if they make it to a Game 7, they better go in there and play their fucking ass off. They really better do that. Because honestly, they should be up in this series. They really should. Especially with Jamal Murray struggling the multiple games that he did. He found a stroke last night, but you've been getting a pass with that one. Aaron Gordon was kind of sort of limping with the calf injury, I think. Michael Porter Jr. was in and out, kind of, sort of. Russell Westbrook was out a game. And Joker scored 13 points last night, and you still lost. That's a lot going in your favor to be down 3-2 in a series where you should have been up 3-1 or damn near finished the series by now. So, all in all, the Clippers got some damn work to do.